It began with silence, no distress calls, no warnings. Just a sudden and complete blackout from New Carthage, one of Earth's most peaceful colonies nestled deep in the outer rim. 10,000 civilians, families, scientists, farmers gone. In an instant. When the footage finally reached Earth, it showed only fragments, burning skies, terrified screams, and a single word spoken by a dying colonist, Zarketh. The Galactic Empire had made its move. They thought humanity wouldn't retaliate. They thought we'd mourn, protest, maybe send a strongly worded message through diplomatic channels. They were wrong. Earth didn't cry. It didn't negotiate. It gathered its fleets, activated weapons not used in a century, and crossed into enemy territory without hesitation. What happened next wasn't just revenge, it was a message written in the fire of a dying star. The Zarketh home system was wiped from existence, erased with the kind of precision only human rage could fuel. The galaxy had underestimated Earth's will to protect its own. They would never make that mistake again. Prologue, a quiet flame. The colony of New Carthage was never meant to be a battlefield. Nestled on the lush, oceanic planet of Eos 7 in the Orion Outer Rim, it was designed to be a model of peaceful expansion, a civilian outpost focused on ecological research, agricultural development, and interspecies diplomacy. With a population of just over 10,000, the colony was mostly composed of scientists, engineers, educators, and their families. They weren't soldiers. They didn't carry weapons. Their shield arrays were calibrated to withstand solar storms. Not orbital bombardments, but the Galactic Empire of Zarketh didn't care about that dot to the Zarketh Dominion. A species built on hierarchy, expansion, and absolute control. Human colonies in the Outer Rim represented a growing problem. The Dominion's central ideology saw humans not as a military threat, but as a cultural infection. Humanity's ideals, cooperation, freedom, diversity, were antithetical to the rigid caste structures that held the Zarketh together. New Carthage wasn't dangerous because of what it could do, but because of what it symbolized. On the 17th day of cycle 1449.7, the Zarketh High Command declared New Carthage a target of strategic cleansing. No declaration of war. No warning. No mercy. The signal that wasn't meant to bat. Attack lasted 7 minutes. It began with a gravitational pulse that disabled orbital sensors. Moments later, 24 Zarketh warships dropped from slipspace, bypassing all known traffic monitoring systems. They descended like shadows, their plasma weapons cutting through the planet's meager defenses. Within moments, the colony's power grid collapsed. Hospitals, schools, greenhouses all turned to ash. But one signal got out. A relay technician, named Elena Mori, just 23 years old, had stayed behind in the auxiliary comms tower while others fled to the shelters. As the blast wave approached, she activated the emergency beacon and attached a 27-second audio-visual file to it. The footage showed civilians running, explosions in the distance, and Elena's voice, barely above a whisper. "This is New Carthage. We are under attack. Zarketh warships in orbit. No defense. They're killing everyone. Please, remember us." That was all Earth received. But it was enough. Earth remembers. The moment the transmission reached Earth, everything changed. Though humanity had expanded far into the galaxy, Earth remained its heart, a united homeworld governed by the Interstellar Human Coalition, a body that for decades had emphasized diplomacy and restraint. Earth had not gone to war in nearly 80 years. Conflicts had been limited to skirmishes, territorial disputes, and economic sanctions. But New Carthage wasn't a conflict. It was a massacre. Within hours, Earth convened an emergency summit. For the first time in a century, all 216 planetary representatives voted unanimously. Operation Sol Requiem was approved. Humanity's deep strike fleet, the 7th Armada, was mobilized. Admiral Rian Kevrek, a decorated tactician who had once led peacekeeping missions to the Lysan border, was placed in command. He didn't speak much during the briefing. He only asked one question: "Is the system still there?" When the answer came, "Yes, sir. The Zarkith home system is untouched," he simply nodded. "Then it won't be for long." The Armada awakens. The Seventh Armada was more legend than reality. Comprised of nearly 300 capital-class vessels, including 3 dreadnoughts powered by quantum singularities and 2 Helios-class carriers equipped with gravimetric warheads. The fleet had not been fully activated in decades. It had been held in reserve, orbiting Neptune in a classified shipyard beneath the ice rings. Earth reactivated it in under 36 hours. Artificial intelligence cores were awakened. Weapons were calibrated to maximum yield. Ancient war protocols, some written during the post-Earth unification wars, were uploaded. The fleet's communication protocols were sealed. From that moment forward, the Seventh Armada was autonomous. They had one objective: eliminate the Zarkith capital system, the path of no return. The Zarkith Dominion never expected a full-scale retaliation. To them, New Carthage was a message, a warning to other human colonies. The Zarkith High Lord, Varnak Kor, publicly declared Earth to be a civilization of sentiment and mocked humanity's moralistic hesitations. He underestimated how deeply humans could feel rage. 3 weeks after the attack, the Seventh Armada entered the Zarkith expanse. No warnings, no negotiations. The Dominion's outer defenses were obliterated in under 10 minutes. Entire fleets of automated sentinels and Zarkith cruisers were vaporized. Human tactics were unpredictable, adaptive, and brutal. The Zarkith began evacuating their outer worlds. But it was too late. The erasure at the heart of the Zarkith Empire was the twin star system of Voroshkai. 8 planets, 3 orbital cities, billions of lives. This was their throne. The Seventh Armada didn't aim for the planet's first dot. They disabled the stars. Using Helios warheads, humanity launched what was then considered impossible: a stellar destabilization strike. The warheads, detonating in synchronized bursts, triggered magnetic inversions and solar collapses in both stars. Within moments, the gravitational equilibrium of the entire system destabilized. Planetary shields failed. Orbital cities broke apart. Zarkith warships fled, only to be caught in the collapsing gravity wells. Human ships maintained a silent formation. They did not fire on escape vessels. They didn't have to. The system itself had become a tomb. Within 6 hours, the Voroshkai system was gone. All that remained was a debris field drifting through the void. Echoes across the stars. The galactic community responded with shock. Some condemned Earth's actions. Others applauded them. But no one could deny the message had been received. Humanity, long considered a peaceful and cooperative species, had proven something ancient and terrifying. Its restraint was a choice, not a weakness. The Interstellar Human Coalition released a single statement: "We do not seek war, but we remember our dead. We remember every child who screamed, every shelter that burned, and we do not forget." No galactic power challenged Earth again for the next 47 years. Epilogue: a garden of ashes. A decade after the erasure, a memorial was constructed on the orbit of Eos 7 over the ruins of New Carthage. It contains no weapons, no political symbols, only a garden maintained by volunteers from across the galaxy. Trees, flowers, and stones from dozens of worlds are planted there. In the center stands a statue of Elena Mori. Holding a broken transmitter, her final message plays. Every hour. Not as a call for vengeance, but as a reminder that peace is not the absence of power, but the choice to hold it in check until it must be used. Ashes and Reckoning, the Council of Fractures in the aftermath of the erasure. The Galactic Central Assembly, a coalition of 43 species, called for an emergency convocation. The topic was clear: how should the galaxy respond to Earth's overwhelming show of force? Opinions were divided. Some species, like the Thalkor and Utari, saw Earth's actions as justified. To them, the Zarkov had crossed an ethical boundary that demanded a response beyond diplomacy. Others, particularly the old empires like the Jernathi and Valax Confederacy, viewed the destruction of Voroshkai as an existential threat. If Earth could erase a star system, what was stopping them from doing it again? Ambassador Lin Rao of the CERN Dominion phrased it bluntly: they've shown they can destroy the stars. What's left to bargain with? But Earth didn't attend. The Council. Instead, they sent a single data crystal. Its contents were simple video archives of New Carthage's last moments, a technical dossier on the Zarkov fleet involved in the massacre, and one final line of text: "We remember who started this. We only finish what they began." The silent border with the fall of the Zarkov Dominion, a massive void opened in the outer galactic rim. Dozens of minor powers scrambled to claim territory, but none dared venture too close to the systems where Earth's fleet had passed. A name soon emerged for the route scorched by the Seventh Armada: the Silent Border. Sensor ghosts, warped space-time signatures, and quiet remnants of gravitational collapse haunted the region. Ships that strayed too near often returned with corrupted AI logs and inexplicable system malfunctions. It became a kind of graveyard, a forbidden zone not by law, but by fear. Rumors spread. Some believed remnants of the Seventh Armada still patrolled the zone, invisible and silent. Others claimed the war had awakened something older, buried beneath the stars, something humanity had unleashed.